Hey guys, what's going on? We are back, and as promised, this is our free-for-all, have at it, uncut, raw Batman vs Superman discussion. I'm here with Vega,
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
Bags,
Good evening.
and Spawn.
What's up, everyone?
All right, guys, before we get started, I really want to say we just hit over 600 subscribers today, so thank you so much to all the subscribers and all the loyal listeners we have out there. I really appreciate it. We all do, and we really hope you enjoy this discussion. So it's going to be nerd versus nerd. We got a couple people here who are kind of anti-Batman vs. Superman. We got one, Spawn, who is pro-Batman vs. Superman. I'm going to be serving more so as the moderator than anything else, but let's get started. The first question I wanted to ask you guys, and take this into consideration a little bit before we answer. Did they show too much in the trailers?
Oh yeah, they definitely did. Absolutely, that was one of my biggest gripes about the film, which I forgot to put in my rant. But yeah, you're sitting there and you're watching the film, and every scene you kind of knew what was gonna come because they put so much in the trailer. They could have possibly tried and save Wonder Woman from the trailers. They could have saved Doomsday. They could have saved a lot of things, showing the Batman fights. So, yeah, I think they showed a lot in the trailers.
What about you guys?
Spawn, go ahead.
I felt that they showed just enough. I do understand the complaints that some people have about showing too much in trailers. And while I did think that they showed too much Wonder Woman, I would have completely kept her off the trailers whatsoever just to keep people interested in whatever that they were going to do with her. They ended up showing it, and it was kind of whatever. But as far as the trailers go themselves, no. I probably would have kept a lot out. I probably would have kept Doomsday out. But at the same time, I think they showed just enough to where you were guessing about what the plot was of the film, because I didn't know what it was about up until I saw the movie. But yeah, they kind of did spoil themselves as far as showing like the oh my god moments of the movie. Most of them are in the trailers themselves. But it didn't derail my enjoyment of the film whatsoever. Seeing them all together, in place, at the same time, amazing.
What about you, Bags?
I think that do you bleed? That question right there, I would have cut that from the trailers just because I think that would have been a hell of a lot more impactful in the film itself if I didn't know it was coming, and I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But I think the trailers definitely give away. I don't know. They go crazy with these trailers. And I don't think they're intentionally trying to hurt the film themselves. It just feels like that's the way promotional things are going, and it's not always right. Sometimes they do it with Marvel movies too. So it is what it is.
Yeah, this is the first time I think I've ever complained that I feel like I saw the entire movie pretty much. I mean, they in the trailer they pretty much hit all the high points of the movie for me, and so when I'm expecting it. It kind of takes away from that enjoyment. But this is the first time I'll ever say that I've ever said that I think that they showed too much in the trailers this time. All for two things, and that would be the Justice League cameos and the death of Superman. Other than that, those are the only two things I was surprised by at all. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I think that what they did was they showed everything and kind of blew their load in that last trailer, trying to get as many people in the seats as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you just said. I think we all nailed it right on the head. So
Yeah. All right, so let's get on to the next question. Since that one didn't seem to be too much of a debate, I think we all kind of agreed. Less is more sometimes. Is Lex Luthor in this film acceptable since he is Alexander Luthor and not his dad, Lex? Spawn, thoughts?
Yes and no. Yes, because of course it's not the Lex Luthor that we all know and love. That he's not really cold and calculated. He's more so just fucking maniacal, goofy, fucking always on the edge of your seat. Like he was just too excited playing that role, and I think that's the no part of the equation. For the character that he played, he was fine. He did a good job, I guess, but no, because it was just too much like other characters. He was too much playing a Riddler. He was too much playing a Joker, whatever you want to call it. It was just too much hyper character bullshit, and I just didn't like the fact that he was playing that so much and offered up nothing else for a Lex Luthor. No matter what Lex Luthor he did, it just didn't work for me whatsoever.
So are you satisfied with the Lex Luthor that we got?
No.
Okay. All right.
nah, Spawn had that on the head. Like he just said that it was more like a Riddler Joker type. We even had like the Riddler Easter egg in the one scene, so the question mark. They should just threw him in the green hat, gave him the cane, That'd have been really perfect. That'd have been perfect villain then for the movie, because he did not remind anything at all.
Would it surprise any of you guys to know that in the original draft that their villains of choice for this movie were actually Lex Luthor and the Riddler? I mean, Joker and the Riddler?
Nope.
No, Eisenberg
Not
would
at
have
all.
been perfect. Really, I would have been happy with that. If Eisenberg had the green hat, the green question marks, and the green outfit, and man, I would have been all for it then. But like Spawn nailed it right on the head, saying, just didn't remind you of any type of Luther at all.
What about
Well,
you,
Yeah.
Right, if
Bags?
you throw the baby out with the bathwater and say that, okay, let's pretend you're a general audience viewer and you don't know anything about these characters at all. Would you consider him a menacing foe? Period. The end. As
No, I absolutely would not. I didn't think there was anything menacing about him. He seemed more to me a child with a complex, and he just wanted to make shit happen because he was bored.
Yeah, and I would like to add something to my original point. Anything that was intimidating about this Lex Luthor came from the name of him being Lex Luthor. Like the courtroom scene, he's not even in that scene, but like shit, like seeing his name tag on the seat, I was like, wow, that's something fucking cool. But then I go back and he's like just jumping all around the place, tapping his thumbs. He's got that nervous little douchey like twitch shit.
Yeah,
It's
he has
just-
that twitch and everything.
I will say
Exactly.
that was probably
you like this movie though, right?
Yeah, I just did. I do like the movie. I love it, of course. And I don't mean to like bash it whatsoever, but this villain, I don't know what to say about this villain. He was just too much of whatever he was trying. It
yeah.
would have been different if he would have had different character aspects to him. Like if he would have done that, and then he would have went into like this whole cold, calculated, always plotting against the villains. Well, the heroes of the film, Batman and Superman, and how he considers. We just didn't get enough insight as to why he hates Superman or why he's trying to put them against each other. It just really feels spur of the moment insanity. It's not Lex Luthor.
So not enough character building. So if there was actually more character building, you'd probably still hate it because it was Jesse Eisenberg. But
You know what's funny though? There wasn't enough character building in a 2.5 hour film. How does that happen? But what I wanted to say was that my favorite Lex Luthor moment, if you can even call it that, is the Capitol building being blown up, which he's not even actually in the scene
Exactly.
itself.
Loved
So,
it.
and then my other gripe with Lex Luthor really is that he seems to know by the end of the movie that Darkseid is coming, and the Lex Luthor I know is going to defend his fucking planet tooth and nail because that's his planet for the taking, no fucking alien. Like, why is he prejudiced against this one alien being and then totally accepting of the annihilation of another? You know, that
the
didn't...
nature, but then isn't that like kind of the nature of Darkseid is to kind of get inside people's heads too, though. So he could also be an agent.
So you think maybe he's kind of, I
think
don't
it's
know,
more
a
like-
marionette?
I think maybe kind of like more brainwashed kind of. He's just like something's going on in his mind that's just like forcing him to say this. You know what I mean?
I mean, it could be that's a possibility. That could come into play later on.
I would just say he would have just snapped just off of whatever he's seen. Like, you have to think, by the end of this film, Lex Luthor's completely stripped of whatever he has. He was spoiled, he was rich, he got whatever he wanted. At the end of the film, he's left in a jail cell. And in that moment, I will say, for whatever he did at the end, I did feel a little bit like we were seeing a Lex Luthor, just how fucking snide he was. He did the snide really well. And, like, this whole I'm better than you shit that he was doing, I like that. But yeah, I just think he completely just snapped at the end of the film. That's why he's so fucking goofy again, doing that whole Dark Side is Coming shit.
Dude,
It's because he just rang off, went off.
How bad did you
not-
want him to fucking wipe his
Like
nose in that
poster,
jail
yep.
cell, dude? God
Yep,
damn it.
thank you. Exactly. That was pissing me off.
I
that
was like,
whole
just
thing.
get a tissue. Get a tissue.
I'm like, is that supposed to add like more to like the character or something? You're gonna have a snot running down your nose? How disgusting is that,
Yeah,
man? Just,
this isn't the Blair Witch Project. Just get your shit
yeah,
together.
exactly. Like, there's no one on set that can be like, hey, can you cut for 1 minute? We're gonna wipe his nose real fast because it's disgusting. It
Bald
was
little
in his
baby.
mouth, I think. I think it was in his mouth.
All right.
It bothered me. Like, I mean, it took me out of the moment. I was just like, please, like, somebody wipe his nose. But
Oh, God.
so okay, overall, Spawn. So this is not an acceptable version of Luthor to you.
Not unless he completely changes for the next film, no. But even then, he just doesn't look.
No,
like Lex Luthor.
not based on anything that could potentially happen in the future. In this film, was he an acceptable
fuck
Lex
no.
Luthor? Okay, Bags.
Nah, he wasn't Lex Luthor, that's for sure. I actually did get I felt like he was menacing in the movie. That's the one part that I disagree with everybody else on. I definitely thought he was menacing, and I don't know. I got nothing else to say on it.
Vega,
Yeah,
accepting.
yeah, come on. You already know. All you guys know how I feel. You guys.
Yeah,
I
okay.
spilled that out last night in my rant video.
All right, so we know.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, exactly.
Had to throw it in there somehow. Had to throw it in there somehow.
Okay, so did you guys think that his quote unquote plan for Superman to fight Batman was an intricate plot that was thoroughly weaved, or did it really feel kind of half baked and just kind of a stroke of luck?
A cheap stunt.
Okay, Spawn.
No, I think for his plan itself, it was intricate enough. Wasn't this overly complex scheme hatched where one thing had to happen for another, but for what it was, I was fine with it.
Here's my thing, how did he know that Superman and Batman were gonna fight? Like, how did he know that was gonna happen?
I guess he would have just completely had been hoping, but at the same time, I was expecting him to kind of do more to antagonize the other person into fighting one another, but I guess that Superman and Batman had wanted to fight each other, which was kind of built up from them at the banquet, and they were talking shit to each other, basically. He had been playing them from the whole, because he does know that Clark Kent is Superman. I want to point that out. When he flies to him at the helipad, he does know his identity. And I guess from assumption, you can kind of tell that he might know who Batman is, so maybe he had been playing them the whole time to get pissed at each other, knowing that they would do that and then fight.
I mean, I don't feel like he had enough interaction with Batman at all to make that seem like a plausible plan of his. I think he just kind of got lucky seeing that bat signal in the sky, but that's just me. Vega, any thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of half-assed, just kind of how they had. I mean, it was kind of like, to me, it was like lazy. Like, what was his main motive for him to try and kill Batman? Obviously, like, he must know that Batman's a big problem to Superman or something, but I don't know. It's just kind of half-assed to me in a way.
I honestly didn't even think he was trying to get rid of Batman at all. I guess I didn't see any personal quarrel with Batman between Luthor.
Yeah,
I think.
But then he told him, "You better bring me Batman's head," or.
I think.
If I can raise my hand for a second.
Go ahead, Spawn.
I was saying that Batman wasn't really a part of his plan. That was just to get Superman to go and fight him. His whole thing is with Superman. Batman is just playing into it. He doesn't really give a shit if Batman dies or not. It's just to prove that Superman is not almighty, as he says, and not all good.
I mean, I can agree with that, but hearing the whole, gladiator match, blah, 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 the two great, whatever he said, like, that whole monologue seemed like this whole plan is kind of culminating the way I want it to, and blah, blah, here it is, it's happening, and you've got to play right into my hands, I don't know, and then...
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is kind of reaching a little bit, but maybe the fight itself was just a distraction so he could finish up Doomsday.
Okay.
Maybe.
That could be
That's a good point, Bags.
And that's actually...
I don't think he even actually gave a shit who won. He just wanted to be able to finish his little pet project so he could, I think his vendettas with Superman, not Batman. I don't think he cares less about Batman. He didn't want Batman's head or anything like that. In fact, he was kind of hoping, okay, go over there and kill Batman. And in his mind, he's thinking, well, if Batman kills him, he takes care of my problem. If he doesn't, then I got something for him,
So it was all just kind of a stall tactic to get Doomsday.
Just kind of distracted.
Okay.
Just look over here.
Well, that brings me to my next question for you guys. Did Doomsday's, quote, transformation satisfy or disappoint? I remember Spawn saying that that's not his final look. We're going to see a final look from him. And to be fair, he was right, but he transformed into what Spawn thought was going to transform further. So, Spawn, did it satisfy that transformation or did it disappoint?
Satisfied. I saw the spikes. That was all I was really hoping for. For what he looked like, it was fine. So I don't really have anything to add to that. But I will say his CGI was very shit. I will say that.
Did he not look like some kind of troll out of The Hobbit or something, though? I mean, come on.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, before he got hit with the nuke, he looked like a cave troll, and then afterwards he looked like abomination.
I have to disagree.
Yeah, Spawn's been fighting that abomination correlation tooth and nail, dude.
Yeah, I have to just fight against it because he just looks like Doomsday. And if Doomsday looks like Abomination, then so be it. But to me, that looked like Doomsday. I wish he would have had more done with the face, more spikes around his face, because at the end, he just kind of had spikes all over his body, using them or whatever.
his eyes were just like too far apart. He looked like, I don't know. He looked like he belonged on the super short bus, you know?
He kind of looked like a mix of like the way the Ninja Turtles look now with like Abomination a little bit.
Oh, okay,
A
I
little
can
bit.
kind of see that. Yeah,
Because you know like the Ninja Turtles have those like really spaced eyes the way Michael Bay's making them now.
yeah.
But
No, I see that.
But my biggest thing with the whole Doomsday thing, I mean, like he started turning to like look more like Doomsday towards the end. It was just you couldn't really see him because there was so much just red energy, like lights going around him the whole damn time. And I was like, dude, relax on that. I just want to see Doomsday kick some ass right now.
Yeah, and
I understand he was obviously sucking in all the energy they threw at him, but come on.
Spawn, correct me if I'm wrong, but Doomsday doesn't have laser eyes in the comics, does he?
I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He didn't use it in his fight against Superman. I know that.
Yeah, he did.
No, I mean in the comic book.
Oh, okay. I was saying the movie he definitely did.
Because they got to think that's based off Zod, kind of, so that's the reason.
Yeah, okay. Here's another question. Did they use Zod's body and transform it into Doomsday, or just like the DNA?
I would think it would be the DNA.
That's what I was thinking too.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a character called Wraith that is exactly what they did in this movie? Except
Yeah, it was the Kryptonian cells transforming people into like these fucking monsters.
Right. My friend Tony said that he, from the very beginning, he thought it wasn't even going to be Doomsday at all. He thought it was going to be Wraith, which was manufactured out of Zod's DNA.
Yeah, and it kind of was. It's not even really Doomsday, to be fair. It's more so like a Doomsday, Wraith, whatever he's called, like, combination.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of an amalgamation. Okay.
So they kind of just like forced him in there. That's what I'm kind of trying to get at.
Well, he's kind of like the Crimson Dynamo and Whiplash and Iron Man 2, just kind of like two villains maybe pressed together.
Oh yeah, Crimson Dynamo.
A little bit.
That's okay, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So here's my question to you, Spawn. What the fuck was Lex's plan if Doomsday had killed Superman? How was he going to control that thing? That thing came about. It had risen from that murky whatever water, and the first thing it went to do was go punch Lex straight in the face. Like, how was he ever going to control Doomsday if he succeeded in killing Superman?
Short answer, he wasn't. I was completely asking that myself when it was gonna go fucking destroy Lex. He didn't plan on attacking him. He thought that he was gonna master that thing like it was his own animal, but it didn't really pan out that way. So, in short answer, had he killed Superman, goodbye Earth. It would have been game over for everyone because Lex was sure as shit not stopping that thing.
I know. So that was another thing I had a personal quarrel with was Lex is just not the kind of guy to not have a contingency to put Doomsday down should Doomsday ever get out of control.
At all.
This Lex was very short-sighted.
Yeah,
but to be fair, they did play that up that he was just a spoiled rich kid that always got his way, so he can't see that Doomsday couldn't be controlled or unkillable. Really, he couldn't see that because he had always gotten what he had wanted.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on his psyche, and the condition of it because I
mean, I'm not either. That's just the way they were just playing him up or how they had been.
Yeah, there's not enough yellow brick road for me to follow there, but
you all sound like
okay, another question I have for you guys. Brett, well, you take this one, Bags. I want to hear your thoughts, but did you find it rather stupidly convenient the way that Lex just wandered into that Kryptonian ship and the Kryptonian robot was like, yeah, the Kryptonians have basically said that you can't do that anymore, or the Kryptonians here anymore. All right, start it up. Like, did that bother you? Did it like a red flag go up in your head? Tell me.
Well, no, I mean, actually, believe it or not, that was one of the scenes I just kind of accepted at face value. But the whole creation of Doomsday was kind of like, all right, we get it. It took me out of the movie just a little bit, just because I was like, okay, this has to happen, and we have to figure out a way to make this happen now. Was my impression.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they didn't have an awful lot of time to create Doomsday.
Yeah, it was less than satisfying. It took me out of the movie. Vega, what are your thoughts?
I go to Spawn for 1 second.
All right, Spawn. What about
Sorry.
you?
Yeah, I did feel that was a very just completely like it just happened like right then and there. There was really no introduction to how Luthor could even get into that. I don't really buy that he just had a fucking control pad to get into it.
Yeah, to me, it's just like the Kryptonians have, basically axed this, I don't know, technology. You can't make this thing anymore. And with like one word or whatever, or sentence, he just kind of overrides that.
Yeah, he kind of overrode it with no problem.
Yeah, to me, that was just very very convenient. Vega.
Yeah, I was going to say the thing that was giving him that command or whatever in the first film that attacked Superman.
I know.
Spawn. I was bad at that. That's what was bad as the shit. You took the words right out of my mouth. It attacked Superman. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, there was no kind of like self-defense acting on the ship in case someone else broke into it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that thing knew that the ship was completely done and like the Kryptonians are dead, so he's just kind of just chilling there, like
or
floating
maybe because
around.
Superman. Well, I guess because Lex Luthor actually got into the ship, that they were assuming that he wasn't a hostile.
Well, he did use Zod's. He used Zod's fingerprints, which I guess their technology can't tell that it's dead flesh. I don't know, but
yeah, I would have to assume that Superman broke in, I think, and Man of Steel, and that took him as a hostile, whereas Lex Luthor had used Zod's fingerprints to get into the to that chamber or whatever.
Or it was a complete oversight on the writing part. David Goyer looking at your dumb ass, but
Yes, we are.
Or that. We could go with that.
We are staring at you, my man.
all right, so let's get on to one of the bigger topics. Was Superman's death earned?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, Spawn. Interesting. Okay. I want to hear Spawn's take on this.
He had to die because no one was really giving him. No one considered him Superman throughout the whole film, and I think this is the part why they had that whole thing with the critics talking around him and Superman's looking at the TV, all sad and shit. It was because Superman hadn't really bought anyone's trust from the events of Man of Steel. Everyone still really didn't know what to think of him. They didn't really consider him a hero. He had caused a complete millions of people to lose their lives in Metropolis, and he was still causing more damage, even though he was saving people as well. But at the end of the film, he gives his life for these people, and that gives them his trust. They know, well, I think it was more so that at the same time, they didn't think that he could die, especially not giving his life for those people, which is why it was earned because he had to die in order to prove to people that he's almost essentially one of them and that he's not all powerful, which is what it kind of goes back to what Lex Luthor was trying to prove about him.
Okay, you're kind of swaying me, but I want to hear some of everybody else's points. Bags. I want to hear Bags' view. Hold on.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't know. So basically, what you're trying to tell me is that he sacrificed himself to kill Doomsday because he wanted to prove to the world that he wasn't the bad person that everybody is making him out to be.
Yes.
Okay. My whole thing was I hated that he did that. My whole thing was that we just met this really incredibly powerful woman who can hold a kryptonite stick. So why the fuck wouldn't you my whole thing is I consider Superman a dumbass. Like, why wouldn't you just hold up, okay, wait a second, this girl can stab this guy and kill him with this kryptonite stick, and I don't have to die. We can do this little switcheroo. They could have come up with a better plan, is all I'm saying, instead of just taking it upon himself to be like, okay, now I must die.
Well, now it kind of had to be him.
Well, is that because the comic book lore dictates that he has to die because Doomsday's there, or was there really no other choice, like Pa Kent dying in a tornado?
Right. Well, yeah.
I would say it's a little bit of both. There really was no alternate. I guess Lewis could have, but at the same time, he kind of had to die only because that he wanted to kind of prove himself. He wanted to prove what his worth was, besides just just saving people, even though a lot of people were dying.
I mean, I understand the conceptual and thematic idea behind it, but was it executed successfully? I mean, could you not, like Bags just kind of did, argue a different way for Superman to have found a way to kill Doomsday without sacrificing himself?
I probably could, but for the scene it was, yeah, I liked it.
So it worked for you?
Yeah, it worked for me.
Okay, Vega, what about you, buddy?
I feel like because we saw when you went to the Capitol building, you saw so many people there bashing him, but then you saw people cheering him on. So I guess because the movie said how many times that there's no one around, so no one didn't die. Maybe that's why they gave him that big thing at the end when he died, just because no one technically die because they had to tell you 25 times during the movie. So maybe that's why they gave him this big thing. But I just feel he's only been there for what, like a year and a half, and look at all the destruction that's happened since he's been there. So I don't know. I feel like he didn't have to die. They could. There was other ways around it. Was it shocking? Yeah, but I still think the ending with the cast.
Well, hold on.
down,
We'll get into that.
I'll get into that. All
Yeah,
right.
we'll get into that. So hold on, Spawn. What I wanted to say is, Superman dying, right? And you feel like, you know, he's doing it to show the people of Earth that he is their hero. He is a hero. He was never a bad guy. But my problem with that is that there's no news cameras around. There's really nothing around to showcase him doing that. You know, I mean, the only real thing we have to go on is the word of Wonder Woman and Superman or Batman, right? Because
And Lois Lane as well, who is a news reporter.
okay, but the thing is, isn't that kind of a biased story? Like, wouldn't it have been a lot more impactful if somehow, you know, footage could have been leaked of Superman sacrificing himself so everyone can kind of see firsthand? Because otherwise, you're just kind of relying on what could end up being like a really bad game of telephone. Everyone's just kind of going down the line and saying what they heard, and so does that not really detract from Superman's
But
sacrifice?
But one thing I will say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but something like that, I kind of see like how it goes because then no one's there and there's no footage. But like that's the way society is now. They hear one thing, they kind of just believe it like right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
So
but
I'm not surprised it kind of went with that. I mean, I agree that I wish there was like more like visual footage so people could actually see like, oh shit, this guy really saved us. But in this society, I see like how one thing pops up in the media, everyone just like buys it and runs with it.
And at the same time, no one had known.
The big funeral was to make the point, you know.
right.
Yeah, and at the
And-
same time, no one was going to go into that battle.
They had the two funerals. One was for, you know, basically his people that were there, and then the other one was for the public to consume, you know.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but I mean, in this world, you know, there's a lot of skeptics, and there's probably a lot of people thinking that, you know, there's always the conspiracy theory that it didn't go down the way, you know, headlines are saying it did. So I'm just
Well, some hobo had an iPhone nearby. And he video.
well, according to
According to everyone in the movie, there was no one around. So no.
yeah,
gadgets
according to
to
what
have that.
almost felt like fourth wall breaking, you know, to tell the audience and reassure them, hey, like, we're not gonna copy the destruction toll that Man of Steel had. There was nobody around. This is a completely uninhabited island that hangs off right the coast of
And
Gotham.
uninhabited docks, by the way, as well. Uninhabited docks by Gotham.
And then downtown Metropolis is vacant because, well, the workday's over. So
Anyway, and how come Metropolis is legit like right across the river from Gotham? That's my thing.
yeah, that was a jarring thing to show me for sure. When I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute, Metropolis and Gotham are a stone's throw away? Since when? Like, where the fuck? What?
I know. My vision of Metropolis has always been like, you know, like a 4.5 hour drive from Kansas,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Gotham was like just like you know, like 17, 20 hours away.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know. I kind of like
Metropolis.
the contrast between the two. It's the sister cities. One's like this nice, vibrant place. The other one's this dark.
In the comics, are they sister cities? Because I know like Keystone and Central City are sister cities, but in the comics, are Gotham and Metropolis sister cities?
No. They're not.
Okay.
I don't mean to be so blunt about it, but they're not.
There's not much I can say, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a yes or no, and I kind of
So-
had to go on it. No, they're not.
So it's just kind of a.
About that.
Yeah, there's not really a debate there. It's not.
So it's kind of this contrived.
They just want to make it closer just so they could Batman could get there faster. That's all.
Yeah, it's just in there for convenience, apparently. You know,
Exactly. It's so you can see the bat signal across.
It's basically
Metropolis, I guess.
San Francisco and Oakland. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we uncovered something else I can't stand about the movie.
Okay.
My whole thing with that battle, by the way, not to like.
No,
back
go
to
ahead.
anything.
Go ahead.
My whole thing was how Batman didn't do shit besides shoot Doomsday and then just kind of zip around.
Yeah, that dude hiding around in the background.
Well-
No, thing is, Batman knew his
What is he
place.
supposed to do?
Batman knew his place. Batman knew his place. He was hiding behind that wall. Like,
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I knew the Batwing's already gone by that point, but he just kind of it was just so off-putting just seeing Wonder Woman and Superman fighting this monster for 20 minutes, and Batman just shoots. It's like, well, I did a good job.
Well, 20 minutes, but he was kind of like Loki in Avengers, just watching Thor and Iron Man go at it, you know?
He's like, shit, I'm not doing that.
He was kind of just like
This is a
sitting
good
there.
fight.
Like,
This is a
Yeah,
good
this is pretty good. I'll have to fight for one.
But to be fair, like in Justice League Doom, the animated movie, like Batman really can't do a whole lot against Darkseid, so, which I know
Well,
it's
I guess-
Doomsday, but the thing
Well-
is, like, Batman's kind of he's got to play to his strengths, which isn't
He's
super
killed him
strength.
before. He's killed Darkseid before, so I don't
Yeah, but
know
that's
about
that's
that.
using his intellect. That's not using brawn.
And you know what? Without any advance notice on what this is and what he's dealing with, that's kind of when Batman's at his weakest. I mean, he's at his best when he knows what the fuck he's dealing with.
Oh, you know what, Bags? You just chalked up a half a point in this movie's thing for me. It just that right there just laid to rest that Batman can't beat everybody because he's not always fucking prepared.
yeah, see, I'm sure if we'll get some Batman stans that will comment on this and like fight us with this and say that Batman could kill and fight anyone. So I just can't stand those people. By the way, I just want to let that out there.
But the thing is, what Bags is saying is that Batman was caught
No,
off guard. So
I completely agree with Bags. But I'm saying there's people out there that'll just say Batman could beat the hell out of anyone and kill anyone. But we'll leave it at that.
Incoming comments.
yeah. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are down below.
Well, you also have to think that Batman had been retired
Said,
and he had.
"One bad thing about Batman, we riot."
What were you saying, Spawn?
I was gonna say that Batman had been not fighting crime that much, I guess, from the events of whatever fucking happened in between
There's-
the gap of whatever.
That's another thing I wanted to address because they actually never explicitly say that he's come out of retirement. You know?
Yeah, that was weird too. I didn't really know what he was supposed to be. Is he like now just getting back into crime fighting?
Yeah, because
has he been on and off since Jason Todd?
Yeah, because when we see him look at his suit, all kind of like, you know, in the trailers, when we see him looking at it, it looks like, God damn it, I got to put this thing back on again. But he was in the suit before that moment, so I'm just kind of thinking, is this guy, is he retired or is he just, I don't know,
Is he just coming out of retirement?
is he been doing this? I didn't really understand that part, and that was, I guess I was left a little vague. But that's such a small gripe that I honestly, it's not even on my radar. But
To me, that just attests to like how they really didn't like they had like their plots for like the characters, but they just didn't finish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like weird in that way. Like they did so many little things right, like how Superman was global and could be anywhere, but then again, you don't really know how long Batman's been crime fighting or if he had stopped or whatever. It's weird in that way.
Yeah, you know what? I am looking forward to that 3-hour release, that R-rated release, because I do think it's going to answer some questions that we have. That's for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so this next question kind of goes along the lines of the last one. And what does it mean for the heroes that Batman is basically recruiting these heroes before they're actually established heroes? What does this basically mean for the Justice League that Batman's recruiting them kind of like, I don't know, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents or something? Because we all know the Justice League came together after all of their heroes were established. But now that they're not, and Lex, you know, for whatever fucking reason, decided, like, I'm just going to turn I'm going to make symbols out of these guys and give them something to put on their fucking chest later. But what does it mean to you guys now that Batman is going to basically be, I don't know, Nick Fury for the Avengers?
It's kind of disappointing in my opinion. I just think that I was hoping that it kind of be they're going with like they're obviously going with the Justice League first before everything. So I kind of just wanted Flash to be Flash. I mean, Aquaman to kind of be Aquaman and all that. But now, like you said, Batman's kind of be the recruiter and I guess train them and have them understand their powers. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand how. I don't
think-
like what it implies. I guess, but
I think. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Spawn, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a non-issue to me. I mean, I do like how they were already established, and that much I would have liked to have happened. But as far as recruiting them, I don't have a problem with that because they would have just randomly gotten together. It kind of would have felt at that minute and rushed, kind of, because they just all meet up and just go fight, or unless they kind of were all going towards the same thing, and then they all kind of met up at the middle.
I guess my biggest gripe is more with Flash, because Aquaman's kind of king of his own domain, and then Cyborg He's a fucking cyborg. He'll do whatever he wants to do with his shit. But the Flash, I mean, the Flash being a hero was kind of a call to duty for him. Like, he felt like he's got to do good. He's been given this power, kind of very similar to Spider-Man. He's been given this power. I got to do something good with it. But now you got Bruce Wayne coming along saying, like, hey, you have this power. You have to do something good with it. And I mean, especially with, like, Miller playing the role, all I can really see is, hey, fuck you, dude. Like, don't tell me what the fuck to do. You know? Like,
Well, I mean, I didn't really take it that way. I took it kind of as, Batman wants to bring these people together because Lex had an evil plan for them, and he wants to kind of put them in the same spot so that he can assure that nothing, like no evil plans, come to these people that have these special powers.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of inadvertently make Lex Luthor responsible for the assembling of the Justice League?
He had to have a catalyst.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I just feel like I wish there was like a different way we could have got them. Like maybe like an after credit or something that like Flash breaks through the time barrier and then there's Flash like kind of just meeting up somewhere, something like that, something of that nature. And what's up? Like, why can't we get an after credit in these DC movies? I understand you want to be like Marvel, but
let's not even get into that yet. I mean, that's off topic. But
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But what I'm saying is like be something different than the Avengers, right? The Avengers all kind of came together because Nick Fury had this Avengers Initiative manila folder, that he had proposed as kind of a first line of defense for the world. And that almost seems like what's happening now with the Justice League. Instead of the Justice League, where they had the chance to jump on the Avengers is to kind of come together to battle a single foe the way the Avengers did originally. So, Darkseid could have come in and started taking over the world, and Flash and Cyborg and Aquaman and, all of them just kind of come together because it's their duty to do so. Now it's like, hey, I'm going to put this team together and everyone's going to have a specific function. And I don't...
we haven't seen it come to fruition yet, though, so we don't know how the team coming together actually happens yet.
Well, I mean, it's strongly implied.
We just know Batman's thoughts on it.
Right, and it's strongly implied, and honestly, if they just kind of completely shrug off the ending of Batman vs. Superman, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to sit there and say, whoa, but the end of Batman vs. Superman, you made Bruce, like, he was the head of the Justice League, and that's not how it happened. I'd be completely fine with that.
Yeah, and I mean, to what you said about Flash being like, fuck off, dude, that could still happen. It's not, the Justice League has an assembly at first, so for all we know, they could just tell Bruce to go fuck off. You don't have any powers, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
True.
The actually assembling of the fucking team could be...
Exactly, that could be it, too. Like
hardcore uphill battle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like in the film themselves, it could just happen that way. Like, they don't listen to Bruce whatsoever, and then later on, they see, oh, shit, this guy was right. We really do need to get together as a group and go fight these aliens.
Yeah, which would be a good way to go with it, I think. I mean, if they go on and say that this guy's a human and he doesn't have any powers, why the hell should we listen to him? And then they go on and they make their mistakes and and they realize, oh, wait a second, this guy does have sense.
Yeah, maybe he's right all along.
Yeah, you guys are actually starting to kind of echo the Justice League War animated movie. I mean, that's kind of similar to how it happened, and if they can do that on the big screen, I'll be fine. The Justice League War is not my favorite by any means, but if they can do that on the big screen, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's all in execution.
Yeah, which this movie definitely lacked on for sure. For me. Also,
I think for a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, Spawn, I got another question for you. What does killing Superman this early mean for his future, though? Because doesn't that kind of take away the stakes of any future Superman movie, any appearance? Because he's already been killed. So we know, like, well, obviously Superman's never going to truly be in danger. The guy's already been resurrected from the dead, so I'm not really ever going to fear for whatever happens with Superman now. Like, you kill him off in his very second appearance. What does that really mean for the future of Superman? Because we know he's coming back.
I guess they just kind of have to take it as it is and just introduce new stakes that don't involve killing Superman. It could always involve the Earth, which I guess he would love more than himself dying. I mean, he's already proven that he'll give his fucking life for these people. So losing that would mean a lot to him, as well as losing his loved ones. So I guess at this point they have to nix involving any danger to Superman himself and turn the danger into whoever he loves and what he loves.
But does it cheapen any future Superman appearance to you?
No.
Okay, what about you, Bags?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hated the fact that they did the whole whatever at the end of the movie.
You can say it. This is all spoiler talk. Go ahead.
I mean, when I didn't like the whole. If they were gonna go with the death of Superman, they should have just gone with the death of Superman, balls fucking deep, you know.
Right.
And not even hinted at the fact that he might be alive, you know. If you were gonna leave me in despair, you should have, you know.
Yeah.
You should have left me in despair.
Yeah, that was my biggest gripe with that.
But, you know,
I
part.
agree.
That would have been the ballsier move. But I mean, as far as making him diminished as far as the future appearances are concerned, I don't think that's true. I mean, Superman's going to be Superman. You can always, you know, switch your focus into other characters in future endeavors. You don't have to worry about, you know, always focusing on Supes, you know.
Well, I'm talking about like maybe a Man of Steel 2 because there it is slated to have is just his own individual sequel. So like, what can the stakes really be in that movie if we've already seen Superman die and come back to life? Like
Actually losing Metropolis, Lois Lane dying. There's a couple things they can
No,
do that could.
yeah, he can experience loss. Exactly what Spawny's saying, you know.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, Vega. What about you? What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a ballsy move, and I thought it was actually a really cool move that they killed Superman. It's just save the part, like they both said, like everyone just said that.
Well-
Save it for the ending, like save it for the not the ending. I mean, for like the next movie, just have us like, oh shit, he's dead.
But does it
And then just-
cheapen? Does it cheapen any future appearance for the Superman
No,
deal?
I don't think so. I feel like it doesn't cheapen it. It's just I'm trying to think of something here. It doesn't cheapen it because it's Superman. You know what I mean? So regardless of the fact we knew he'd come back in any way if he died in any of those movies, so it doesn't really cheapen it for me at all. It's just like you guys said that just keep him dead. If you keep him dead, if you're gonna keep him dead, and then bring him back, you know when.
Okay, so another question for the group. I'm gonna start off with you, Vega, and just go back. Was Superman's death impactful? Like, I mean, like I said, he's only been on display twice. This is his second outing in this universe. Is it as impactful to have killed him off now as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 films down the road?
I think it's impactful in the sense that no one was expecting it. You know what I mean? We'd all be expecting it more in the future, like Justice League Part 2 or something, and then maybe he gets his own second movie. I think it was more impactful now just because no one expected that. We all thought Doomsday would come alive, they kill him, and that's it. But no one thought that Doomsday was going to stick one of those spikes right into Superman's heart, and that was going to be it.
Did you feel anything when Superman died? Like, did you have a true
I-
cathartic
I-
moment?
I kind of did, 'cause I mean, as you guys all know, I really did enjoy the movie, but that one scene, I was like, oh, damn, they really went with this. Like, they're going with this right now. Superman, they're killing Superman right now. And I couldn't believe it. At first, I thought he was just gonna pull Doomsday's elbow out and punch him or something. But they went with the full fledged of this. Doomsday just stabbed him and went with the death of Superman there. So it was very shocking. It kind of impacted me a little bit, yeah.
Okay, I kind of saw it coming the way I saw Han Solo's death in Force Awakens. Like, I knew it was happening, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen, you know. But what about you, Bags? What are your thoughts on that?
As soon as he looked over at Lois Lane and said, "I love you," I knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ah, fuck, seriously?" like you know, it was very surprising. I wouldn't say it saddened me. I didn't cry, but at the same time, I was kind of like, "Really? This is what they're doing?" Yeah, that was my reaction. That's my initial emotional reaction was, really? Why now?
So because your reaction was that, what was your reaction to seeing the dirt rising off the grave? Then was that like, okay, cool, he's coming back, or off? You completely just undid anything I might have felt.
You know, the second thing you said, I mean, definitely. I was like, if you were gonna go with this, then you should have just gone with it. You should have gone with it 100%. And not half-assed a fucking resurrection for the next film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, if you really wanted to make me feel sad, then make me feel sad. Don't make me feel sad and then be like, oh, because there's hope. You know?
Hey, that's what the S stands for. That's what the S stands for.
Go for it. Go for it. If you're going to go for it, then fucking go for it. Don't leave me that. That should have been saved for later.
Yeah. What about you, Spawn? I gotta go Spawn.
No problem.
Yeah, I felt something when he died.
What did you
I didn't
feel?
know.
Tell me about it. Tell me what you felt.
Some sadness, like I just got stabbed, much like he did. But at the same time, I kind of knew it was coming because of what Bag said. He told Lewis that he loved her. I just didn't expect him to kill him this early. That was the only thing I did. I went into this film not knowing that he would die whatsoever. So when he grabbed the kryptonite spear and got stabbed, I was like, oh shit, they actually killed him. Thought he was gonna come back into the in. I was right, which is why I didn't feel anything. To answer your second question about the grave, I didn't feel anything because I knew that they wouldn't keep him dead. I just didn't think that they would do that towards the end of this movie. I think if anything, it should have had a place down the road. So
Yeah. No, I completely agree, man, and I think that it would have been a much stronger entrance to see just, one day in a Justice League movie to see Superman just walk in triumphantly and everyone be like, "Oh my God, he's back!" Like it would have been a true moment to just clap, So.
Oh, and that's what I was about to say. Is just they should never went that. How exciting would that have been? You're watching Justice League Part 1 or Part 2, and you just see Superman flying in and just.
Yeah, like he could have had.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could have had a glorious return to the screen, and they.
I'd love to see him climbing out of the grave.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to go too far off, but it's like
Kill Bill.
It's kind of like if they decide to kill off Captain America in Civil War, I do not want any hint at Captain America coming back. I want to see Infinity Wars just bam, there's Cap, and everyone's just gonna be like, oh my, it'll be a mind blowing moment, But
exactly, they
I
could
don't
have had that with us with Superman.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity.
At the same time, though, it's Superman, so I guess everyone would expect him to come back. Like, even if we were to go to Justice League, or get down the final 10 minutes of the film, everyone's going to be like, well, this is where Superman comes back. So I guess they're waiting for the triumphant return itself, and people are going to rely on
well,
that.
Well, not if you don't show it in the fucking trailer,
Not if you don't show it, you're right.
If you show a Justice League trailer and you don't show anything with Superman at all, and you go and watch it, and there's Superman, you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!"
I mean, we all know that Henry Cavill was gonna come back as Superman, but it's just a point of just seeing it on screen, like Superman, like bags like coming out the grave or just flying in. It's like a big war or something,
That
But
can still happen.
Wait, Bags, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Here's my issue with the whole thing. Like, this is an alien from another planet, and he just got killed in a mystical fashion that nobody understands. And nobody understands his species because he is from another planet. Why the fuck would you bury him? If he's hit by fucking the sun, why wouldn't you just place him on the equator and let him get a suntan for at least a month before you give up on him?
Put him on a solar panel or something.
Fair enough. I like that. I like that point by Tags right there. That was the truth right there.
That was good. I like that. Anything else you guys want to talk about with the death? Oh, actually, I got a question for you, Spawn, because I have actually never read The Death of Superman. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I've seen the anime movie, but I've never read how Superman comes back. How does Superman come back, and can you see that playing out in the movie in a comic accurate fashion?
I hope he doesn't come back how he did in the comic book.
How did he come back in the comic book?
It was some kind of, they explained it as some kind of, he wasn't really dead, he was in a coma, so, he had been waiting to, return or whatever.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't bode well, because it sounds exactly like the way fucking Goyer would go.
Exactly, and it's just so cheap that he wasn't really dead, he just got put in a coma.
Oh, Goyer just found his lazy way out of this one, fuck.
Well, it was in the comic book, so we can just do it in the film.
Yeah, oh, damn it. Okay.
Well, I don't think he's writing Justice League, so we're...
No, he's not. He's off the writing team.
Thank God,
which is a good thing.
I hope that guy ends up a homeless bum on Sunset one day.
So do I.
Eating the meat off of chicken wings and fucking dumpsters.
like a fucking rabid dog.
Just asking for spare change in a tin little bucket.
Okay.
This roll isn't stale. I'm gonna.
All right, so Bags, you had a couple talking points, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and lead us on a couple of them?
Okay. All right. Listen, now, I'm not going to say that I hated this movie. I liked this movie. I actually did like the movie. But my problem was, a lot of the action sequences, they were too fast and they were too choppy.
You're talking about the movements of the characters or the editing?
I'm talking about Batman in general.
Okay.
Batman had a badass fighting style, and you could tell it was badass. But it moved fast, and they were in the dark, and there was something very, very dim about the cinematography of a lot of the fighting sequences that just moved too fast.
Okay.
It's like the opposite of 300. If you want.
Yeah, 300 was a fucking orgasm of slow-mo.
No, well, I'm just saying you just didn't get a chance to really soak in what it was before you knew it. It came, it went, and it was gone.
Yeah. Okay, actually, that actually does bring up one question that Spawn had, and What is our stance on Batman killing? How does everyone feel about Batman actually? I mean, it wasn't. I'm not going to call it murder, but it was definitely manslaughter.
No, it was murder. Like those guys.
It was definitely
there was murdering going on.
But it was had to be collateral damage almost. You know what I mean? I don't think his intent was to kill him, but if they died,
it was.
It was shooting people to kill them. He was blowing up people in flamethrowers.
I guess I'm more speaking to like the car chase scene with the Batmobile, which was a badass scene. Like, don't get me wrong, that was cool as shit. But cars flying everywhere and explosions. That's more manslaughter than murder, right?
But how cool was the
in a way, if you're driving the Batmobile and you fucking just take out 2 dudes like he did.
But okay, so anyway, how do we feel about Batman killing? Spawn, let's hear yours.
I only asked this because I felt a way about it. I just felt weird seeing this Batman kill. Not since Michael Keaton's Batman have we seen a Batman that's really taken a life like this Batman did. And he fucking killed people. Like, he wasn't any which way about it. He was like, if I have to kill you, I will kill you.
Yeah, he was
and I will kill the shit out of you.
He was brutal. Vega, how do you feel about Batman killing in
I
this?
mean, didn't really bother me because it wasn't like, it wasn't him like actually sitting there stabbing people. I mean, he did stab a guy, but he didn't kill him. I don't think. But like just like brutally murdering them. And I also want to know why he's kind of killing. Like, I want to know what got him to this. So it didn't really bother me. I just want to know why. Like, what got him to this.
Okay, what about Bags? How do you feel about Batman killing people?
I felt bad about it, man. I fucking felt really shitty fucking about that crap. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, the whole point of Bruce Wayne is that he's got enough money to like create these gadgets to apprehend villains without killing them.
Non-lethal force. Yeah.
For him to go off with reckless abandon, which is basically what it seemed like, it basically makes him a fucking terrorist.
Honestly, for me, I don't know why. Usually, I'm very strict about at the core and essence of a character on screen, it stays true. But for some reason, I can't put my finger on why. But it didn't bother me that he was killing guys, and it might be because just all his action scenes were just so visually pleasing. It was just like, oh well, that guy, oh he died. Well, look what's happening now. But I don't know why it didn't bother me that much, and I can't explain it away. But that's just how I feel.
And I will say also that to add on to the whole killing thing, it also takes away a sense of his stories. Like, in a way, a lot of Batman stories revolve around him having to kill this specific villain or person. And by him killing, you're basically eliminating him having to question himself if he should really kill these people.
Well, maybe that's why he looked at Jason Todd's suit before he went out there. He's like, you know what? Last time my no-kill policy got this kid killed. Maybe I just gotta, throw that out the window and go balls to the wall.
That's true, and he's also older, so I guess he has to kill to kind of keep up with the crime. He's not as fast as he can be before.
I suppose, but in the Dark Knight, he really had to toil and just really contemplate all of life before he decided to just say, "Fuck that! I have to kill the Joker."
Yeah,
that was something that he had to debate with himself.
But that's something that Dark Knight did really well, and it thematically it displayed that sense of morality from Joker's point of view and Batman's point of view throughout the entire movie. That sense of morality was there. This movie really, it juggled a lot of themes, but I don't think it actually hit any of them the way they were hoping they would.
Or they're leaving them off for future films.
No, I'm talking about themes of morality or themes.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about those types of themes that in the film are kind of what tells the audience what's right and wrong in this world that they've built. And The Dark Knight did that really well. But this one, there's just a lot of things happening, and you really could not weave them all together cohesively to all merge at one point and say, here is the crux of the story. There was just too many tendrils out there. None of them came together. But what else, Bags? What else you got for us?
Well, I just want to say that the fighting styles were good for Batman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can't say, like I said, I'm not a hater of the movie. I'm not going to come down as a straight up hater of the movie because I'm not. I actually did enjoy myself. But the fighting style, Batman's fighting styles in this movie, especially that scene where he went in and kicked the shit out of everybody, they were just out of control, man. And he came off as a serious badass, and I enjoyed the hell out of.
No more elbow drops from Bale Man.
Right? No, well, you know.
My only thing with the whole fighting style is like when the nightmare scene when he was fighting like the demon, like the Superman soldiers. It just didn't look like he was actually punching anyone. It kind of looked like he was just off. I don't know. Was I the only one like noticed that, or was it just me?
No, I think it was just you because I thought he was just punching people.
No, that whole scene was just weird to me.
It was weird. It just didn't feel like it was right. It just felt like it was like slow and like lazy.
It just happened, and I guess it was just such a jarring transition that like I couldn't help but just point out like what the fuck is happening and why does this scene, that whole scene to me just wasn't right. But did anybody else feel like that Batman, that look of Batman, was inspired by Red Son? This is more directed at Spawn. I know you've read Red Son.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not
a little bit? It's a little bit that. It's a little bit, I guess, Mad Max Batman a little bit, and the whole post-apocalyptic sort of vision.
Yeah, but see, the thing for me, I guess, one of the things I like to talk about is that whole premonition he's having, could it be tied to the Red Son a little bit? Because obviously Red Son is more Superman. What happened if Superman had landed in Russia instead of the United States? But, Superman was an antagonist and Batman was someone who was trying to put down Superman. And also the look of Batman looked very inspired from his Batman look in Red Son. So I'm wondering,
basically just that look. He was just missing that hat thing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and like I think he even had goggles too.
Yeah, he did have goggles.
So, does anyone think, or Spawn, do you think Red Son could at all play a part in some way, shape, or form in the future?
Definitely. I think any story at this point can play a future in any film. Well, this film in particular, anything that it referenced is going to come up later in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Visually or story-wise to me. I mean, they just set up so many things that they have to implement some of them in future films.
Agreed. All right, Bags, what else you got for us?
I don't know. What's funny is that what you're talking about as far as that dream sequence is concerned, it reminded me of Spider-Man Noir.
I don't think I've actually ever read the Noir Spider-Man.
But that costume, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
But let's see what else we got. I think we covered just about everything that I went over indirectly.
Okay.
So the only thing was that the conflict between Batman and Superman seemed forced to me.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. I understood it, but I didn't feel it.
Martha.
As far as like Ben Affleck was concerned, or Batman, hit the building falling over. I get his anger towards that, but I didn't feel it. That was kind of my problem. Like I understood why he didn't like Superman, but I didn't feel it.
Okay, I got you. I mean, I thought that opening sequence was actually the best part of the movie, honestly. But I mean, I can understand like you don't feel his actual hatred towards this guy. I got you.
Oh, I feel Bag's right because I feel like they just didn't touch upon it again after that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, the Dwight not likes him in the beginning, and then they just kind of went on with their thing, and you don't remember why he hates Superman ever again. You know what I mean? It didn't play out the way I thought it would.
I mean, there was. Go ahead, Bags.
I got to see it again though because fucking the whole Martha thing, which was why they did the Batman beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That took me out of the movie right out the bat. Like as soon as they started doing the whole Bruce Wayne's parents being killed thing, I was like, oh fuck, here we go again.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that scene was crucial to a later scene.
Because they don't connect well. You don't see a scene and then your mind doesn't instantly jump back to what you'd seen at the beginning. There's something missing to you get from A to C. There's no B. Yeah. At least that's how it was for me. But I also thought the whole let's be friends now because our mom's name is Martha. Like that was just not. That wasn't good to me. I mean, kudos for them because I don't think a lot of people had ever made that connection. Me being one of them, but at the same time, I was like, really, like that's what's gonna stop this whole fight. You're fighting this alien because you're afraid that he could one day destroy the world. Then you find out his mom has the same name as your mom, and it's like, well, I guess we can be friends.
I disagree only because it's a sense of weakness that Batman hadn't really come to terms with yet. He had never really, well, he did, unless we don't know it yet in this universe. He had never really made up for solving his parents' murders. So in a way, he's kind of righting that wrong by doing this goodness on a Superman. And you also have to equate that to the nightmare sequence that he had seen, where Superman had basically turned cruel. He didn't want to see that shit go down.
Yeah, I mean, I understood that, like, and he could have been thinking that, well, maybe Martha's death is what would turn Superman that way, and I'm trying to more or less prevent Superman from turning into what I had, like this premonition that I had. But
Yeah.
I think what they were going for there is that, oh, look, Superman, he may be an alien, but he has very human connections, very human emotions. He's very much tied. Well, he's very much connected to his mother. He's got a mother. He's got this redheaded woman right here who obviously cares about him. But again, that's something for me that just did not land. It wasn't something that was like, oh, okay, yeah, he sees Clark as a human now. Like I don't know. That didn't happen for me.
Yeah, I understand it, but at the same time, I go on the opposite, on the vice versa, that I did understand it and all that. Like, I was like, oh, well, I understand why Batman would just stop fighting him, because now he sees that Superman is more a protector rather than an invader.
Maybe. I mean,
only because he's so enveloped in just who we are as people. Like, he has a mother, he has a lover. He understands to an extent basic human nature in a way, and personality and whatnot.
I guess to me, it's just it wasn't apparent enough. Like the scene didn't have that atmosphere to it. You know, what do you guys think, Vega?
The scene, I mean, I see what they did, but it just didn't have like no feels to it. You know what I mean? It had like nothing to it, like you're saying. Like, it was kind of like dull, in my opinion. It was like, oh my god, that's my mom's name. Now we're friends. Let's go fight. Let's go fight this bigger thing.
Yeah, I think they were relying a lot on what people would have already known, rather than, I guess they didn't want to punch you in the face with it too much, rather than just leaving it at, oh, well, our mother names are Martha, and look at Lois Lane right here. She's the one I love, and look at me. I'm not even going to try to kill you. I try to stop you, try to talk you out of fighting me at the beginning of the fight. Look at us now. So I guess they didn't want to be too over the head with it, and it kind of ended up backfiring on them.
I think the whole damsel in distress thing is just so played out. I wish they hadn't gone that route at all. You know, like kidnapping Superman's mom to, you know, and he's gonna blow her up like in the Dark Knight. Like, I mean, how many times are we gonna see a woman in distress and the hero's got to come and save the day? I mean, I understand it's kind of a classic staple in old school comics, but it's not something you really see often anymore. Bags, what about you? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I love that Batman was the one that came in and saved the day for Martha.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually enjoyed, like, I really did enjoy when, like, he was about to kill Batman. And when he said the name Martha, it just struck a nerve. And that was the only part of the movie that I actually felt. You know?
Really? Interesting. Okay.
No, I just, like it gave him pause. It gave him, like, God, you know, that was the one thing. Like, when you say, like, if somebody's kidnapped and they go on a, you know, like a press conference and they say, my son Joe, and my, you know, they keep on saying their name because they want the serial killer to, you know, like, put a human name to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes them feel something, you know? So, like, for me, like, that, you know, that was Batman in his own head, you know? And he's always been in his own head. You know, like that's his whole freaking career has always been Batman in his head.
Yeah, kind of he's a lone wolf.
His parents, like he's kind of a schizophrenic, you know.
Yeah, that's actually another question I had, and I wanted to ask Spawn. Spawn, did you? Because I heard people talk about they thought that this iteration of Bruce Wayne and Batman was a mentally almost unstable kind of Batman. Did you ever get that feeling from him? Did you ever feel like this guy is just way over paranoid or anything like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally got that feeling from a lot of the film. Just from the way he talks and how Jeremy Irons as Alfred acts towards him, it kind of comes off as like almost psychopathic at times. I mean, look, he kills people. He almost killed Superman. He's got this very sense of determination. He's obviously psychologically scarred from his origin and his parents' death, so it all kind of culminates in this character that's just not all the way there and is so full of paranoia about what could happen that he prepares for it, even though he doesn't have to.
Okay. What about you, Vega? Did you ever get that feeling from Batman?
Kind of, in a way, yeah. It's just I just want to know why he's like that. because they kind of were about to like dive into it, and next they cut to something else. I like to know why he's like that crazy kind of off the wall. Now. I mean, we understand that his parents dying, and them showing the Robin costume was like little signs of like what's going through his mind and why maybe he's killing, and he's kind of this like off the hinge Batman now, and he's older. I guess maybe I'm hoping for a Batman movie. Maybe could be my problem, but I don't know.
Yeah, I never really got the sense that the guy wasn't really in his right mind. I never really got the sense that he wasn't all there. He always seemed pretty much in control of himself. I honestly felt like he had a legitimate concern with Superman because he doesn't know anything about Superman. But that's just me. So.
I'm not saying that he's like. I don't mean to say it as if he's insane. I just mean it in a way that he's different. Like he's
taking no more shit, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. But he takes so much. He just doesn't really consider the alternatives, if that makes sense.
So he's just kind of a Batman who's gone off the reservation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
He's not taking any more chances.
Yeah, he's not. Go ahead.
He's lost. Like, obviously, he lost Robin. So, and he's not going to make any more mistakes. Like, I think that the reason he's so violent is because he's not going to take any more chances as far as losing people is concerned. Like, he's going to do whatever it takes, whether it be killing people or not, to do what has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, his life has been full of tragedy, and we saw it with his parents. We get the hints of that with Robin. We saw, all his employees and stuff who presumably went down with Wayne Tower during.
No, they did
during the Metropolis fight. So
they're dead.
Oh yeah,
they're done.
They're dead. They're dead as fried chicken, man. But so I understand that his whole life has kind of just been one tragedy after the other, and you're right. He's probably not taking any more chances. I guess I just didn't feel like it was as nuanced in this film as it could have been. But again, there's just a lot happening in this movie. It's really, like I said in my review, you don't have time to get comfortable in any scene.
Yeah, this seems like a Batman that just has experienced too much failure to the point where he's like, fuck this, I'm just going to do it the first time. Whatever way I think is the best way, that's how I'm going to go about this.
All right, so Spawn, do you have any talking points, anything that you really wanted to hit on?
No, but I will say that they did the first 15 minutes or so of this film and the opening scene with I did the Bat Brand. Fucking loved it.
Yeah, that was cool, and it to me it kind of substituted the sons of Batman from The Dark Knight Returns.
How I was wishing towards the end that he would have branded Lex Luthor.
Oh, dude, I was
so
hoping.
bad.
I was so hoping, and honestly, part of me was sitting there like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna fucking do it. I wish I was
right on the fucking his bald fucking forehead.
Stamp that cue ball, man.
Exactly, and that was another thing about this Lex Luthor. It wasn't a hate where I was like, oh man, I want to see him in this next scene and what he's gonna do. It was just like, dude, get the fuck off my screen. Like I've just hated this Lex Luthor.
For me, it was more about I want to see Batman go nuts, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I was hoping he's gonna beat the shit out of him in that cell.
Let's talk about a couple Batman parts. When he's first introduced in almost like a horror movie way, just like hanging on the side of that wall, I was like, holy shit, that is sick.
That's great. I love that scene.
That was a badass moment for sure. That was a great introduction to Batman. Yeah. What about Bags? What do you think, man?
Nah, dude, Batman in this movie was fucking badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any negatives about Batman in this movie. Well, besides killing, which is a little weird, but I can get over it. But all in all, Ben Affleck did a stellar job.
Vega, what'd you think about Batman's introduction?
I thought it was great. I just thought it was funny because we never had a Batman like in this type of shape, like this big. So when Ben Affleck was up there, it was kind of like he's like kind of all bulked up there, like squeezed, like tight up there. I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like we're used to like Christian Bale being like all kind of like skinny, just like slimmed out, like in shape. Ben Affleck was big in this movie, so he's like on top of like the corner of that wall, just trying to like hide. But this dude's way too big to be hiding over there.
He's an intimidating looking Batman. But you know what I liked about that scene is it was almost pretty much straight ripped from the Dark Knight Returns, when the rookie cop goes in there, looking for Batman, and the older veteran cop's like, hey, let him handle this. He's got it. That was pretty much that scene
that
played
was
out.
exactly the scene. It was exactly the scene.
What do you think, Spawn? True. Yes. No.
Yeah, pretty much hit it right, the nail on the head right there. I didn't really have anything about that scene. It was great. It was the best introduction to a Batman I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, and an extension
And
of
his movements were just amazing. Like even when he wasn't fighting people, like the way he would move like quickly and shit, it was almost demonic.
yeah, and the extension of that scene is actually when he goes to save Martha and comes up through the floor. That in the comic books, that's kind of where that happens. Is straight after that rookie cop goes in looking for him. So I really appreciated the attention to detail on that. Also, at the end, when he goes and visits Luthor and he's just standing in there taking up the entire fucking doorway of that cell, holy shit, dude, that was a scary moment even for me. I was like, oh my god.
The one thing that got me, and I don't know if it got anyone else, was the scene where the coffin starts bleeding and the bat thing just fucking, that got me.
What was it? Say it again?
The scene
yeah,
where he's
well, I know
looking at the
exactly what
coffin
you're
and the
talking
blood starts dripping and the
And now, like,
bat
demon
thing
pops
just
out.
bites
Oh.
him.
Man bat thing,
Oh
yeah.
my god, that scene got me.
Yeah, that was that man bat thing. That was pretty cool.
Holy
It
shit.
was like
that,
creepy.
that scared the fuck out of me.
So, any listeners right now, I think we probably kind of touched on all the hate that we want to get into. Let's talk the fun parts of this movie for sure, because it does have a lot of great parts to it. Let's not kid ourselves. I know Bags has been liking hating on it, and I've honestly been enjoyed bashing it too. But it's hard not to also, recognize where this movie did do things right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Spawn's all for it.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all in with this. Let's get into it.
Well, I do have some very, very, very huge fanboy moments.
Let's hear him, dude. Let's hear him. Let's fucking geek out over this thing now.
Dude, the lasso of gold
Oh,
moment from the fucking girdle of Gaia.
the lasso of truth. Yeah, that was cool to see. I did not expect to see that.
I did not expect to see that either. And as soon as I saw that, I swear to God, I fucking cum myself.
I didn't bring a pair of underwear.
Nah, that scene was amazing. Yeah,
Nah,
Wonder
dude.
Woman, I think Wonder Woman overall
When
was
she
just
was
amazing.
pulling back on that fucking lasso, I was like, fuck yeah!
That was cool. I also liked when Superman caught the arrow that had the kryptonite gas, which again straight out of the Dark Knight Returns. But it did make me wish, man, I kind of wish Green Arrow were here, dude, to have fired that arrow at him. You know, but I appreciated the comic book nod to that. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah. I love any scene where like they shoot something at the guy and he just catches it right at that instant before it even hits him.
Did anybody else think though Loki in the Avengers, Hawkeye, exploding arrow, did that cross
Also,
anybody?
for the little turn of the camera, then it just blows up.
Yeah, that did cross my mind. I was kind of hoping to see like Superman with a little smirk and then bam.
I also love that there's like I said before, they do a lot of the little things right. Like when Batman starts punching Superman and the
Yes.
kryptonite starts wearing off, and then
Oh,
he's
yeah.
just whoa, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Oh, Batman's like, oh shit.
It rises
Yeah,
up,
I'm about to get fucked up
and
now. Hold on, wait, I'm a
it
human.
rises up.
Wait, so hold on, Bags. We couldn't hear you. What?
No, like when the kryptonite started wearing off, and then like Superman just rose up. Batman was like, "Fuck."
Yeah. I'm in trouble.
Hold on a minute.
Dude,
You can't hit me now.
I will say that mecha suit that Batman wears was pretty fucking sick. That was just a badass suit, man.
Oh no, absolutely, I agree with Six Suit.
Straight out of the Dark Knight, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What else? What other fanboy moments did you guys geek out about? I mean, I know it wasn't the fucking Justice League cameos.
Oh god.
I will say I did like I like cyborgs.
I did too, actually. You know, and I
I
hear a lot of
Cyborgs was pretty cool. In my
I hear a
opinion.
lot of people saying that was their least favorite one, and because I guess they talk about the CGI and stuff, but to me it was the coolest one. You get to see that mother box thing just like, you know, forming and or whatever it's doing, and I thought it was cool.
I liked a majority of them. I liked Wonder Woman's whole thing.
Yeah, but that
like
wasn't a
Aquaman.
cameo. She's more of a co-star.
I'm talking more about the whole just league like being included, so I just included her because the movie is
Oh.
Batman versus Superman at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I guess I would rank her with the other
Aquaman
league.
through the water.
That like sonic boom thing underwater.
Dude, that was fucking sick.
That was cool. But did anyone else think like, dude, why is Jason Momoa holding his breath? He's Aquaman. He breathes underwater. Why does he look so uncomfortable in water right now?
My question is, why is he like posing like for a selfie? How's there a camera right in front of his face? That's my question.
Well, that was like
When he
That was
shot-
one of the drones,
when
right?
he shot through the water, at the speed of light, I was like, fuck yeah, Aquaman. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a cool moment for sure, but to me, I was like, just why does Aquaman look like he doesn't belong in water? His eyes look like he's trying to see underwater, not doing so well. He looks like he's holding his breath. You know, I understand that an actor has to do those, like, it's just human thing, but Aquaman wouldn't. He can see underwater, he can breathe underwater, he's got no problem living underwater. It just looked uncomfortable for Momoa.
Even the whole. Oh, go ahead, Vega.
You already know how this is like probably the worst casting I think in this DC universe in my opinion.
Get
but
the fuck out of here. Ezra Miller's a way worse casting
I
than the
knew it was
Flash.
gonna come up.
See, that's the problem. Like that, there's two. Like you could debate who's been the worst casting. I just don't see Momoa as Aquaman. I can't see him holding his own movie. But that's besides the point.
You know, I really like Jeff Johns' Aquaman, and even though Momoa looks nothing like it, it doesn't bother me as much as Ezra Miller as Flash. That is not the Flash.
Well, okay, I will say that he doesn't look anything like the Flash, and I love the fucking Flash. Favorite character.
Yeah, but you're a
comic books.
Wally West fan, not a Barry
I am
Allen
a Wally
fan.
West fan, and I will say when he came out of the thing or whatever, that little premonition that Bruce had, he had a really good Wally West vibe to him. Not a Barry Allen. He's definitely sure as shit not Barry Allen, but for Wally West, there's something there with Ezra Miller.
Fine,
but so far
you
to
know
go
what?
back to worst
Take
casting.
him. Take him as Wally West for all I give a shit. Don't make him Barry Allen.
No, do not make him Barry Allen. But to go back to the worst
Well,
casting so far.
he's already confirmed that he's Barry Allen.
Shut up,
so.
Vega. I'm still holding
Yeah,
out. I'm still
don't
holding
ruin
out.
it.
Oh, real quick. Did anybody think that when Bruce went and saved that guy whose legs were trapped under the thing and he called him Wally? Did anyone else think Wally West for a second? Like, oh my god, tell me that's not Wally West. Did anybody?
That would have been horribly ironic.
Well, okay, but it crossed my mind in the theater because I'm like, holy shit. Okay, his legs are fucked up. His name is Wally. Please don't tell me you're gonna give him he's somehow gonna get the Speed Force or mechanical legs and become a speedster. I don't know. It crossed my mind. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, what about Jimmy Olsen being in the movie for 2 seconds and dying?
He wasn't even called Jimmy Olsen, so I'm not gonna even refer to him as Jimmy Olsen.
Ah, well, they
Yeah,
said
fuck
in the,
him. I don't really like
they said-
Jimmy Olsen in the comic book, so he can.
I'm just saying, like them. They said in the extended version he's gonna have a little bigger role. I don't know.
He was a CIA operative. It made no sense, and I didn't give a shit. And
Yeah, I just don't give a shit about Jimmy Olsen whatsoever, so I don't really care if they killed him off.
all right,
Fuck him and that KGB guy, whatever.
Spawn.
The
So
guy from Civil War.
no, you
Yeah.
mean no
Captain
Winter
America,
Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Spawn, what were you gonna say about the Flash? You had something to say about the casting or something.
Oh, I was just gonna go back and the worst casting so far because we have not seen Ezra Miller, and I cannot stress this enough. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. So far, worst casting has been to fucking Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Okay. You know what?
Fair enough.
That's fair because we've seen his portrayal of Lex, and it's not Lex. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But fuck Ezra.
Just had to throw that out there, huh?
had to respectfully disagree until we see the movie.
Yeah, you
Hold out hope.
You keep biting your tongue. Bags. What about you? Who's the most miscast person in this DCU so far? Oh, there he is.
What was his answer?
What was the question?
Who is the most miscast person in the DCU so far to you?
It was Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, all right. So we got two in the Jesse Eisenberg camp. Okay. I
Yeah,
can
fuck
agree.
him.
You know, as an actor, I don't mind the guy, but as Lex Luthor, it didn't work. That's all.
No, not even now as an actor too, because he did the same shit he's been doing since he's been cast in every movie ever. So fuck him.
And you know what? I gotta say, when he first, we even saw this in the trailer. I mean, there were a few times I thought this movie broke the fourth wall, basically with the city is empty, the island is uninhabited. But then when fucking Lex comes up, he's like, Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne. But I almost felt like I'm being straight talked to, like, hey, look how cool a moment this is in cinematic history. You know, it didn't feel organic. It just felt like basically WB was coming out of the screen, slapping me over the face with it, like, pay attention, motherfucker. This is the first time.
I feel
Great.
the same exactly. You know, I feel the same way.
So that kind of
that
bugged me.
scene.
But anyway, but let's again. I don't have to get too much into the cons. Let's build the movie up a little bit because this movie has been getting absolutely destroyed with a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I definitely don't think that's warranted. I think it's a lot better than a fucking 30% Rotten Tomatoes.
You know,
rating.
I do too. I agree. I think it's better than 30%, but I don't think this movie deserves a fresh rating overall.
Lower fresh rating would be my stance.
I mean,
I understand, and I love this movie, so I can understand it not being fresh. I just love it from what I saw about it. But as a movie on Rotten Tomatoes, if I had to score this not taking in any bias, I'd go like about 70, somewhere in the 70s.
I don't know. That's what Age of Ultron got, and I think it told a way more cohesive story. I can see where critics really took umbrage with this film.
You know, it is with critics too that like this, since the story was so just kind of like choppy and stuff. That's the reason they're bashing this movie. You know.
Yeah, but again, we keep getting derailed on this. Let's keep talking about the fun parts because there were a lot of fun parts, like the Batmobile chase. That was a really cool scene.
How about the Batcave? The Batcave looked awesome in this freaking movie, man.
Yeah, I kind of like that postmodern look that it had. It didn't look like it was just a cave. It looked like they had definitely renovated the place.
I mean, yeah, I could just sum up everything in like one. Like for the really good parts about this movie, fucking Batman in general. Everything they did with Batman in this movie was just amazing.
Yeah, but I mean that means there's not much else for us to talk about if you just want.
There is too. I didn't think Henry Cavill was that bad as Superman. I mean, I know a lot of people, some are bashing him at least for just being wooden, but I didn't think he was wooden at all.
He wasn't wooden. He was just serviceable. He just wasn't given enough to do. I mean, this was definitely a Batman favored film, and you can tell Snyder loves Batman.
The whole movie is kind of just Wonder Woman, Superman just dealing with all the burden on his shoulders of being Superman. So he's kind of just, that's why maybe he's like, if anyone says he wouldn't, that's the reason, because he has all that to deal with, you know.
Yeah, Superman just kind of rode the wave in this movie, you know.
I think it's so sick. Well, my fault. Spawn, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Vega.
Oh, I just think it's cool when Superman takes off and flies. So I still think that shit is badass, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he breaks the sound barrier. Fuck.
He breaks that sound barrier.
Oh, there's another moment, dude. I mean, straight out of The Dark Knight Returns again is when he gets hit with the nuke and he's all skinny and all that nonsense, you know, up in space.
The third act as well.
Yeah, that was
great.
cool. But one thing I have a little issue with is why the fuck didn't he fall, but Doomsday just cratered to Earth? It didn't really make sense to me. I mean, I'm no fucking astrophysicist or anything, but something about that didn't add up. Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, give me like 2 minutes.
Yeah, why don't you go Google that real quick? But no, I did appreciate again the nod from the comic book.
I did think that was pretty cool, and he was just like up there in space and like eyes just open, then he just flew down.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's all skinny and shit, and like the power of the sun gives him all his power back, and he races back down. You know, that was straight out of the comic books, and I thought it was cool. So I like when you take very specific moments from the comics and you inject them into the movie. That's always a fun thing for just the fans, because the general audience is just going to take it as it happened, but we as the fans know that's straight out of the movies or the comics. Sorry.
Yeah. Another thing, and I think we did kind of touch on this at the beginning. I fucking adored that courtroom scene with Lex Luthor when he punked everyone out, and he wasn't even in the scene, and it's probably the best Jesse Eisenberg scene he's done as Lex Luthor, and he wasn't even in the fucking movie. Well, that scene.
But that Granny's peach tea thing, that made me cringe, and not in a funny way or like a good way, because like I love a good shit fart piss joke all day long. It just Holly Hunter, like I don't know, there's something about when she's staring at that jar of piss, and I'm just like, I'm super uncomfortable right now.
Where did they even come from?
Bags, you just lurking in the background? Are you still here?
I'm here.
All right, so I wasn't sure. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, go ahead. If you want to keep talking about the courtroom scene, go ahead. I just had to say that, like, that peach tea thing made me super uncomfortable to look at.
I don't know. It's just the basic, like, oh, here's Mr. Lex Luthor. He's not even here. Oh, they're gonna blow up something.
Yeah, and anyone else realize that Lex Luthor said the same line twice? He said, "Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator?" He said it twice.
That was weird.
But two different answers. I'm like, how many lies is America telling us?
Oh, he's fucking getting all of them.
I'm going to say that golf clap for Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, he did a good job. I liked him as Alfred. But he also looks a lot like an older Robert Downey Jr.
Funniest line goes to Alfred as well in this movie.
What did he say?
When he was like, for the next generation of Waynes. And he's like, well, not like there would be a next generation of Waynes.
Yeah, where's Talia al Ghul lurking around in the background
exactly.
somewhere?
I was like, wait a minute. Does he know what they mean yet?
Oh, man.
That was one of two jokes told in the movie.
The cape one, right?
That reminds me, actually, I laughed out loud at a part that was not supposed to be funny, but it was at the end when the guard tells, like, me and my buddy who went to see it, we both just fucking burst out at this point, but it's when the guard tells Lex to face the wall or something, and it's just like, oh my god, is he gonna get raped? You know, like that's the first thing that came to my mind. And I laughed out loud, and I felt bad, but it just the way the guard said it, I thought, oh my god, they're gonna rape him.
Yeah,
Good.
I didn't get that. I think you're the only person who felt that way.
No, I'm not, because the buddy sitting next to me felt the same way. He laughed too. Fuck that.
All my friends next to me were like, well, how come Alfred looks like he's the same age as Ben Affleck or not right around them? Like, how come Alfred's not very old? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's old. I don't know.
Yeah, he's old enough.
Oh, no. If you look at Jeremy Irons, like regular pictures of him, he looks old as dirt. But for some reason, he's
Yeah.
actually kind of cleaned up in
Fucking
this
ancient.
movie. In this movie, he looked pretty cleaned up, and
I guess they're going for year one. Year one, right?
Year one.
Alfred.
Yeah, and that's a great story.
Yeah, love that Alfred.
That's a
Bruce
great comic.
fucked up Bruce. He could actually fight Bruce.
Yeah, another Jeff Johns comic, man. That guy's stellar.
Yeah.
man, at least he's helping around in, like the DC universe. So hopefully, he helps it out a little bit.
Hopefully on the script.
Yeah, hopefully he just plain out writes Justice League.
That's what I was hoping for. Something like Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns combo.
That would be a great team up. It really would.
Yeah, I'll keep taking the visuals of Snyder. That I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he makes these films look like comic book like panels almost in a way.
yeah, he's got a great eye for it. If he's got a strong script, he can make a great movie. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and he has. I mean, I know people here love Watchmen, and so do I, and I know people love 300. But those are like direct adaptations. I'm talking Snyder making a film that's completely like his own baby, like Avengers was Whedon's. Not to get off track or anything here. He just needs a hit that's not relying too much on the comic book.
Well, yeah, I don't know. He's a comic book kind of fan and director, so I appreciate that. I'm not gonna dog the guy until he does something that truly appalls me, like Goyer. But Bags, what about you? You got any moments that you want to talk about still? Like any fanboy moments that we haven't hit on yet? Something that you want to say?
Yeah, it was just good to see Wonder Woman again.
You are,
also-
dude. Oh, hold on, Bags. I gotta ask. What if Jennifer Love Hewitt played Wonder Woman?
Well, I mean, she's I don't know. I mean,
Wow, I'm
I
not.
love fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt, but she's
You
not
just
the
can't see her
greatest
doing
actress in the world. She probably still would have done a better job, though.
I expected you to jump all over that. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt in a Wonder Woman outfit. Sign me up. Where's it at?
No, seriously, pop a boob out, you know, fucking wardrobe malfunction.
I had a few friends who were actually like, "How come Wonder Woman has no breasts in this movie?" I'm like, I'm sorry.
Nice little cameo by Chris Pine, by the way.
Oh right, yeah. I was, that was a good picture. That's good. That's good subtle character building. Is when we get to know that. Oh shit, Wonder Woman was back in was around in the 1920s. You know, it keeps you guessing, and it made it fun and it felt natural. You know, that didn't feel that shoehorned in, and I appreciated that.
No, they definitely made it so that her origin story is secure.
Yeah, they handled
Yeah.
her character with respect.
Yeah, I have a really good feeling about Wonder Woman, and I say this as a Wonder Woman hater. Fuck Wonder Woman in the comic books. But as a movie, I'll probably go see it.
You know, like I said,
Why do you hate her so much?
Because fuck her. I don't have to have a reason. I just don't like her.
he's a Black Canary kind of guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a Zatanna.
Yeah, well, who isn't? But no,
My thing is, I'm sorry, but
Go ahead.
I feel like
Remember, she's
still,
like the Thor of your universe. She opens up a whole world of gods.
Eh. Blah. I have Thor and Marvel for that. I wanted gods. I'll just take outer space and Green Lantern. Fuck that.
I'll go to Apocalyptic or the New Gods or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, by the way, fucking awesome way to take from the Arkham games with the fight scenes where he was, like, hanging the guy up by the string or whatever. Love that shit.
Oh yeah, and I love when he used his grappling gun and just like threw that box at that dude. That was sick.
God damn. I was like, 13-hit combo.
That was bad. But what were you gonna say, Vega? You had something to say.
Oh, I mean, like when they showed Steve Trevor, I still sit there and look at Chris Pine. I'm like,
Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
There's Hal Jordan, just Steve Trevor.
There's another missed opportunity for sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then looking at, do you think that maybe they'll do like the Flash paradox, like kind of Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Thomas Wayne?
You know
Batman,
what? I
maybe?
really think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because he played the comedian in Watchmen, and him and Snyder have a good relationship. I feel like he has to come back in some capacity.
Yeah, I think he's
man.
meant for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a pretty big actor to just get to play a 2-minute little scene, with no lines at all.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder likes doing that shit. Like I mentioned this before, but Patrick Wilson played the voice of the president on the phone.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, that was him.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they just showed it today. They said it today, but I was telling them before that supposedly James Wan wants to get Patrick Wilson in Aquaman now. So.
Yeah, but again, that's something completely different.
But I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like they want to continue with the person, so maybe they'll continue with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, hopefully.
I think that's a cool possibility. What else? Anyone else want to talk about? Anything?
I feel like we nailed everything, honestly.
Bags, you said something that triggered something in me, and now I can't think of it. But, yeah, we're actually at about an hour and a half right now, so we've definitely had a good conversation about the whole thing.
Should we get final
ratings? Uncut, baby.
Final ratings or anything like that?
Yeah, we can do some final ratings.
And, all I'm saying is, like, in the Senate, Superman's suit was really, really dark.
Yeah, it was. I thought it'd be a lot brighter blue because in the promotional material,
It was
definitely
brighter in Man of Steel than it was in this movie.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think they definitely need to get Goyer the fuck out of there and stop with the Nolan tone and embrace your comic book roots, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, because they didn't really do a bad job with all the 3 or 2 jokes they told. Wasn't bad.
Yeah,
So
and,
they obviously can do humor in a way presented
2 or
good.
3 failed jokes.
yeah, and see that's another issue I have is like I mean I did say this in my review. I won't go too in depth with it, but it's like when the tone of your movie is just the same the entire time, it really doesn't. It makes those emotional moments less impactful. It's like a song, when you hit those high notes, that's a super impactful moment of the song. But if the entire song is like Sex and Candy, it's just like, okay, well, it's not a bad listen, but like, where are those fucking Whitney Houston moments,
Whitney
You
Houston.
know?
But it doesn't have to be Joey all the fucking time either. It doesn't have to be this fucking happy-go-lucky story.
No, absolutely not. But it just
Get
kind
that
of.
when your best moment is, oh shit, your fucking best joke.
The thing is,
It also takes a general audience out of it too. You know what I mean?
we just need a brief reprieve sometimes from that really somber tone all the time. You've got to have those fun moments, and the best moments that were not that way in this movie was when you had Bruce and Diana interacting, actually, and I love that Diana, her clothes, even though they were modern, they had a very kind of Greek look to them, like ancient Greek look. She had like the gold trimmings and stuff like that. I really appreciated the attention to detail in her costume. But those scenes, they were probably the least drab of all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, if we've got everything out that we want to say, let's give some final opinions / rating of the film, and then we'll do a little outro. Vega, why don't you go first, man? What's your rating, and why don't you give us a sign out?
Well, my rating for this guy is it's probably gonna be like a 5.5 out of 10. To be my honest opinion. I know people are gonna bash me for that, but whatever. So I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. And my outro, guys, keep listening. We hit 600 subscribers. Me and Fudge keep trying to push this stuff out to you, and hope you guys like it. So guys, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing, and have a good night, everyone.
All right, Bags, what about you, buddy?
7.5.
7.5. Okay. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, I mean, I had a good time. I mean, when I walked out of the theater, I was pretty depressed. but I still thought it was a 7.5.
Okay. All right. And we appreciate having you on here. Spawn, what about you?
8.5 Red Capes out of 10. Like I said before, I love the movie. Besides Jesse Eisenberg. Fuck Jesse Eisenberg. Just flat out. Fuck him. Hope he gets replaced in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, all in all, I'm going to get the extended cut. I'll probably enjoy the shit out of it, watch it multiple times.
I wish I had that kind of time.
I will. So...
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. I guess I'll give my rating. My rating is going to be 6 batarangs out of 10. It was an okay movie. I went in hopeful, managed expectations. I came out feeling like I pretty much got what I expected. The more I stewed with the movie, the more I feel like I needed to knock it down a peg or two. But again, thanks for listening, guys. I'm sure most of you guys did not listen to the full hour and a half, but if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. tune in again soon. We're going to have a couple videos up again later this week. So thanks for coming in, and we really appreciate having Vega, Bags, and Spawn. Hopefully these guys can come back again soon. Take care, guys.